There was a time it took an entire day to get a pot of water from hand-scooped water holes. There was never enough. As a result, many people died in our village from diarrhea and other health problems. If PACT did not come in, we'd be in that same situation.
When we started Shae Thot, we really tried to approach it from an integrated point of view. A person comes with different needs, and it's only when you address those different needs that is when you will start making a difference for them and their community.
For us, integration is about a deliberate and hopefully intelligent approach to stitching together projects, programs, and donors.
When you work with a person and you only give them more education, they're not going to improve their health just because they've got a better education. We felt that it's really important to make sure that everybody in the village is coming together and making joint decisions about their future, about what is important for their community. So a village development committee is literally elected democratically by the community members. As a VDC, they will come up and develop a community development plan. So they will talk about what are the priorities, what do we really need, what is going to benefit all of us. And sometimes that's a road, sometimes that's an additional piece of the school or a health clinic, or sometimes it's street lighting. As the fund goes on, people will come in, they will borrow small amounts for maybe some businesses, etc., and they will pay back with a tiny interest. And so this fund grows.
When we go back to the communities or ask the communities, what is that they value most, the most obvious, they would say the fund.
I used to take loans from rich people in a village quite far from us. I didn't have property for collateral, so I had to borrow gold pieces from friends. Poor people like me had to pay 20% interest. My life was very stressful because of all the loans. I was constantly borrowing and repaying, borrowing and repaying. But now I can get loans with 5% interest from PACT and later from the Village Development Committee, where I only pay 3% interest. Some of the money I used to finish building my house. The place I lived before was tiny, and the roof leaked terribly. I remember once using a bamboo tray to cover myself during my pregnancy.
So as the fund grows over time, you really see this community making decisions of like, okay, what do we do? And it's a source of finances that is actually a catalyst for many other small businesses and so on in the community.
Before Shae Thot came in, I worked as a day laborer, and we lived in what is now our stable. I didn't make enough money for my large family. We spent very frugally. I couldn't send all my children to school. Through Shae Thot, I learned how to make natural fertilizer and pesticide, along with other farming skills and techniques. Then I ran a farmer's school for 3 years, sharing my knowledge to others in my village. Now I'm sending my children to school. We have a comfortable life with a bigger house. For the future, I plan to donate more efforts to my community, along with continuing to give my children an education.
When you look at numbers at a country level, it's more than 85% of rural areas do not have access to electricity.
Chevron agreed to support us, and we've now been able to reach tens of thousands of homes across the country with solar home systems.
What we will always strive towards is that whatever activity or intervention we do in a community, that we leave behind their capability and motivation to continue with those activities. So that means that the moment we leave, they keep all the capacity development, they keep their awareness, their volunteers are trained, their village development committees are formed, they've made their plans, there is a village development fund. They have everything they need to keep going.
The Shae Thot project enabled us to pump water into the village from a mile away. Now every house has access to water. It's like paradise. They gave us knowledge on how to use fertilizers safely and make natural pesticide. They came in and gave us techniques and trained us. Our people were so eager to do this type of development. Shae Thot guided us and trained us to be able to manage and decide on our own.